my first time walking out there, I was like, this is a slice of heaven. Like, this is what heaven's like, because you walk around and they're just handing you food left and right, and everything's edible. There's so many varieties of mangoes. Like, what are we doing? Like, how did I not know this until now? There's no reason why there shouldn't be food growing down every sidewalk and every highway and every road, every person's yard. Like, there should be food in this whole state.
Our potential, it's exponential.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. Today I have Bernie. Thank you for coming out.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Jack. It's a pleasure out here.
Yes, brother. It's an honor to have you. It's cool because you're a musician turned edible landscaper, and I'm edible landscaper, you know, with the musical side as well.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool to see the changes in relationships of people that you've had on here, and just that's really cool, man.
Totally. Yeah, it's great to have connected with you. Yeah, we were at the Convergence too, jamming this.
Yeah, it was so great to jam with you there, man. That was such a good time. That's something special everyone should go to.
It's true. Sure. Yeah. Yes, epic. So tell us about you, man. How'd you get this whole spark in this growing plants game?
Yeah. It's been a spark. I tell you what, like 15 years ago, I would say it was a little longer than that ago. I came back from a surf trip and I propagated some plumerias that I brought, which I probably shouldn't have done that. But anyways, brought some plumerias home and saw how I could propagate and grow stuff through that nature. And it kind of just instantly, I was like, wow, this is really fascinating. I can just rip something off a tree and grow it. And kind of got my interest going, and then I started learning about fertilizers, and then working in a restaurant at the time, I was like starting to see stuff that we were throwing away that I was like, man, I could use this for fertilizer. And like shrimp shells were my thing at the time, and researching, I'm like,
that's good
finding
stuff.
out that
it's good for nematodes, I heard too.
Yeah, so it's got like defense, some plant defense stuff in there. So
you're using that for fertilizer from your kitchen? Yeah,
from where I worked, I was just bringing home just shrimp shells. I probably could have been bringing home a lot more, now that I know. But it was I was trying to resource, and it's cool to have that like multiply into what it is now. I'm like trying to resource everything I can, and listening
Tell us about that resource thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, listening to your podcast and everyone on here is just like aiming like resource. That's like one of the biggest things. And locally, what's around you. And I've been blessed enough to have a coffee shop right near me. Shout out Casual Bird, hooking me up every day. But they hooked me up with their coffee grounds, and it is amazing compost, and to add to the compost from what I've learned so far, and nitrogen rich. And as soon as I put the stuff in there, it's just heating up and turning. I'm just turning every day, turning my compost, and that's become like, I enjoy it. It's so fun. Like, it's so funny, like just dirt.
I love how you started to talk right about compost in the soil. That's the whole thing. Yeah, like with the shrimp shells, right? You're using it for fertilizer. For your flowers, right? Plumeria?
Plumeria, yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, that's where it starts, right? Oh, wait, what do these plants need?
Right.
Where does it come from?
Yeah. And so back then I was learning, about the numbers, the potassium and phosphorus and what's the
NPK numbers.
And so I was like, I need all these phosphorus rich fertilizers. I want them to bloom and this and that. And I should have been aiming at everything. And it's cool now to like, I don't really care about those numbers anymore. It's more or less like you need to enrich your soil, like with whatever you can, and especially organic matter, like organic matter is everything, but yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. And,
right. And it starts from composting, right? Organic matter, right? The leaves, the, coffee grounds, whatever you got, get it to break down.
That's it. And so, composting has been like, I think it's a message in itself for anyone. I was just listening to your podcast with Ever Oaks Farm. What's his name?
Mike, yeah.
Yeah, Garcia.
He spoke there too. He was great.
Yeah, I missed that. I'm bummed I missed him, but I do plan. He's in Orlando. He's not far from me, so I want to go out and check out that farm. It seems really cool, and he seems very knowledgeable and such a cool human being from listening to your podcast. But it was cool listening to him talk about composting too, and just the same message I feel like, that we all kind of get from that inside, but it's that lesson of life that it teaches you. And it's like right off the bat, the first time I was like, I need to compost. It's like, it literally teaches you this life lesson, just throwing something in a bucket. You're like, man, that's us. Like, that's what, should happen with us. And some people, might think they're going to live forever doing certain things, but it's full circle life. And we got more lives to live. So don't worry about it.
For sure. Live your life.
Yeah.
Live it. Yeah.
The composting. Yeah. The coffee grounds. I wanted to share with you that trick too. I think I told you about it at
Please tell.
the permaculture event, but it's shout out to Lonnie at the Reed Farm out in DeLand. But
Lonnie's the man.
Reed, he just dishing me information left and right. He's such a knowledgeable human being, and the whole family there, they've taught me so much in the past few months. But Lonnie is like, yeah, just you need compost tea. He's like, raise your compost, and I'm like, he's like, put a hole in it, raise your compost, and let it drain out, and you got compost tea. And I'm like, genius. So I was like looking for what I could use to, make a raised compost thing. And I have all these coolers. I fish a lot, so I have some extra coolers that I bought from like a yard sale. They were just sitting, and I'm like, this is perfect. So I throw my stuff in there, and very quickly I realized, dude, this is the ticket. Like, insulated, it's holding in the heat. It's like
the cooler. Yeah,
I mean,
amazing.
It's holding in that heat, so it's getting hotter than it normally would. And like the bins, I know the bins work too, I'm sure, thinner bins, but the cooler's insulated, so it's holding heat. And when it's heating up, it's really heating up. And then adding those coffee grounds in there, dude, it's cooking in those coolers. And
wait, so you have that drain plug too?
And have the drain plug, so I can if I wanna, I just pour X amount of water in there, and there's compost tea. And then I'm just mixing constant. I honestly gave up on the compost tea thing, because the compost is so good though. Like, I just put the compost around the plants and then just water them, and it's like,
yes,
it's compost tea like that too. I mean,
I guess compost tea is good for scale too,
right?
We got so many plants now in the nursery. It's good to make it last.
Right. Yeah. Independent on what you're going to do. Yeah. So
but I love that.
I don't need it yet. So I'm just,
Wait, the cooler trick is epic though.
Yeah. Now I have 4 coolers out back.
Filled with worms.
Yeah.
Bro, but that's cool, because I mean, some people say that's no good. You have to aerate and all this stuff, but David the Good, a bunch of cool people who have epic gardens, they're like, dude, just use it,
Yeah.
Pour it around your, garden in the pathways. It's filled with microbes. I mean.
Yeah. It's not going to, eventually everything's going to, it might be at a certain stage of composting, but it's eventually going to get to that stage no matter what, it's going to get to the right stage. Mm-hmm. Some ways are just make it quicker, to a different available form, I feel like, So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
leachate, they call that, I believe.
Okay.
We should put the definition. Yeah. It's like the juice that comes out from the compost. That cool. Initial juice.
That juice.
Dude, so good, man. So what do you got growing at your place? Tell us what you got.
I've been putting everything in the ground, dude. I have a whole list. I can't even.
We need species.
Yeah, I can't even get through the list. The species names are tough for me. Lonnie's always speaking Spanish to me, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying. But yeah, my, obviously the heavy hitters, the easy ones like the bananas and pineapples and sugar cane and stuff like that. I'm really trying to get going. The stuff that's gonna produce for me kind of quick. Nice. And papayas and stuff.
So where are you at? What's your zone? You're up the coast.
I think I'm 9B. I'm Daytona Beach Shores. So
cool. So that's 3 or 4 hours north. 3 hours.
Yeah.
Dude.
Down.
So you're doing bananas and stuff.
Bananas. That's one thing where I was like, once I saw there's different varieties of bananas, I'm like, what? Like mangoes I saw first, and Lonnie filled me in on that. And, but I was like, dude, all these bananas, and
it's insane, right?
They're all so good.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're so different.
Why do we rule them out? What is that no one knows?
There should be bananas down the whole highway, dude. What you should be able to pull off anytime and pluck some bananas and keep going. I love our friend that we met, Cole,
Yeah.
Permaculture event. It's just,
bro, I want to have him on. I might have him on.
Yeah,
while he's here.
Please do,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
And some people, obviously, he's getting disagreed with what he's doing left and right. But dude, it's like,
wait, why? For guerrilla planting?
For
right?
guerrilla planting, yeah. And I can understand in certain aspects, I feel like. But at the end of the day, dude, there's no reason why there shouldn't be food growing down every sidewalk and every highway and every road, every person's yard. There should be food in this whole state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess we got to figure out, talk to those people. I agree, bro. But exactly, we got to talk to these people and say, hey, what's the hang up?
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's get our values aligned. Like, what's the deal? So, I mean, I think that they think it's too messy or something.
I feel like it starts to spill into like different species being in the wrong places and messing up other species and stuff like that. But
tainting
at the end
the
of the day,
ecosystem.
see, here's where at the end of the day, are you trying to control the birds from spreading seeds too? Because I mean, we're just mammals and we're just walking around spreading seeds that God gave us.
That's a good point.
And you're just being political about it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nature is objective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, bro.
So,
but I agree. We should be thoughtful about it, but we shouldn't be like, I mean, what do you know? Is he ruining the forest? I mean, I don't think so. Yeah.
we don't think so. We don't know, but at the same time, it's just like,
True.
You can't control everything. You can only control what you can control. And what he's doing is planting seeds in the ground, and I'm not against that by any means. So I'm not going to try to control it.
Yeah. And by the way, we can't control him either. It's like a deeper conversation, right?
Right.
But dude, I love that we can't control all the variables. So like, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
That's deep, bro. We're 5 minutes in. We're all the way.
Yeah, we are bouncing a little bit though.
Yeah, no, it's good though, dude. Yeah. So where do you want to go with it?
Yeah, I think what I'm really hoping to like get off this podcast is, I really would like we said, I'm a musician trying to get in the food forest scene and the growing community here, but I think it kind of needs to be the other way around as far as like the growing community needs to be more spread out through music, in my opinion. I feel like there's a hang up somewhere where the business is kind of, I feel like, blocking out what's going on with the growing community in a sense, to where, like big festivals and big shows and stuff are all based around making money. And so when it comes to like free food or free abundance of anything, it's not going to be available at something like that. But I want to start making creating some kind of alternative festival or some, very similar to the permaculture event, but I feel like it would be too much for the permaculture event because it would almost just grow and that's what's scary.
Wait, why? I'm curious. But by the way, this is a great idea. Stay on this.
Yeah.
Wait, so through the because there's a disconnect you're saying right now with your musical world and with the growing aspect, like what we're trying to create.
Not to say there's a disconnect, but there's not enough connection. There's not enough people portraying that what's going on in the food through the music. There's a lot of people making money off music, and there's a lot of people partying off music and creating the party scene and building that, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, there needs to be a balance. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff that's not getting promoted through music, and I want to be one of those artists to start doing that. And
love that,
and bring that.
It's been said here, man.
Yeah,
I would love to support that.
Yeah, we have, my band, we're called Brothers Within. We got a song on the way. I just finished it up the other day. We're going to play it tomorrow at our show. Let's go. We're at Terra Firmata. I know this is probably after the show.
It'll be out.
Yeah, but we're going to be playing Terra Firmata, and the songs, I'm going to leak it to you guys, called Wild Wind. So you'll probably, it might be out for pre-save now, but it's coming, and it's got, some verses in there, and just the message in the song is very relative to what I want to start bringing to the community and the growing community, especially.
Wild Within.
Wild Wind.
Wild Wind.
Wild Wind. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Cool, man. And, Brothers Within. Check them out. Man.
We're gonna have a feature on the song. This kid Brinson Swan, and his verse just gives me chills when I listen to it. Man, it's bringing him on the song was so divine, and his message is so similar when we started talking about the song and relating. And he really let it out in the song. You can hear it, man. It's cool. And so I'm trying to get him a food forest established as well. He's hungry, dude. He just went to Lonnie's and saw, the dream out there. Lonnie's got the dream, man. The Reed Farm. If you
I haven't been yet.
You need to go. I know when you're out there, we were trying to drag you. Dude, if you haven't been to the Reed Farm.
He was telling me, he was like, dude, you got to come.
It's 2 acres, and it would seem like it's way more. But my first time walking out there, I was like, this is a slice of heaven. Like, this is what heaven's like. Because you walk around and they're just handing you food left and right, and everything's edible, whether it's a leafy green or a root you're pulling out of the ground or a fruit off the tree or honey that they're pouring on top of it. Like, it all came from right there on the land. And I'm just like, this is mind blowing that I've always like had this vision for something like this, but to come out and see it on this scale and then have everything available too. It's just like, it's not like he's just handing it to you and then you can't get it. You know, it's like he's selling it all right there too. And it's just amazing that what they have going on. And I'm so supportive of it. And
yeah, me
too. So thankful for Lonnie as a person. He's been, we've had a great relationship. I've traded some fishing knowledge with him and him vice versa to me on the fishing knowledge, but he's gave me so much mentorship and the growing aspects. So I'm very thankful for Lonnie and the Reed Farm in general. But you too, man. And I wanted to touch this right off the bat, but if you guys could share this podcast, not this one, but the whole podcast in general, because Jack's just amazing at doing this. Thanks, and man. Every episode, I want to just give thanks to every person that's been on here because you've been so enlightening to me. And every episode, I can't get enough. I had one episode I listened to, it was the first one with Lonnie. And then I shared that with someone and they shared another one back to me. And then, because I had already wrote it off, I don't listen to podcasts. And I was like, I'm done. And then someone shared another episode that I listened to, was the light, I can't remember. Anyways, when I heard the second podcast, I was like, I was meant to hear that. And then I started at the beginning with Matt Reese, I think it is, and just started going from there.
I want to know what it was that you heard though. But dude, thank you, man.
It was the light being, the one with we're all light beings or something.
Was it Sarah?
I think so.
Shout out Sarah. And shout out Lonnie too. And by the way, thank you, bro. And it's crazy at that Convergence, man, just real quick, like a bunch of people watched the podcast. I could tell, and they were saying like, wow, thank you, you know, and it's like, whoa, like that is cool, you know, and we're not even that, you know, we're growing in numbers. We're not huge, but like they were all like, man, you connected me with my employee. My employee was like listening to you in the field and like reached out. And now we're like stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, how cool.
Yeah. I feel like there's a huge movement going on with it. You know, we can all kind of feel it and sense the presence with it.
Totally.
But I feel like you're such a staple part of it with this podcast, like in my opinion. It's just...
Well, thank you, man. My goal is to just be a channel for it. Yeah, right? Like a channel. There's a crazy program going out there to the world. And anyways, not to get too much into any of that, but to like provide you, right, as all our guests and me, what we've been so freely given.
Right.
Like, bro, can you believe it, you know? And to share it with other people.
To share it.
That's it.
That's the one thing that I lacked this year at the Convergence. And
Wait, what do you mean?
We kind of talked about it, but sharing. So like, yeah, I think we talked about like we were both just running last minute to get there, you know what I mean, on time. But I just woke up and I was like, I gotta go, and I didn't grab anything or leave with anything. I was not prepared this year, and
yeah.
And the biggest thing I would recommend, make sure you're prepared with when you're going, is just bring utensils, bring a plate and fork, because there's food. I
knew to say that.
And it's like, I showed up with none, and I'm sitting there like every time I'm like, okay, just put it in my hands, you know, I'm ready to eat.
Dude, it was your first Convergence then, dude. That's the sign of a first. Bro, dude,
and so
funny.
With that being said though, is like next year, I want to be that person that's got 10 things of plates and silverware like ready to go for
abundance.
Anyone who doesn't have it. Cause I was sitting there like, I want to hook the person up that doesn't have it next year. And the food too, you know, like I want my food forest to be established so I can bring and be able to supply next year, because I didn't bring anything and I was fed and taken care of, and it was a blessing to be out there, but I want to be able to bring next year for sure. So I'll definitely be back.
Wow. Inspired you to do more, right?
Definitely.
That's what
definitely.
It's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
That kitchen cooked us up all a bunch of food.
People just showed up. Everyone who was out there cooking. And that was amazing. And the music too, it was all really cool. But it was cool to connect with all the OGs that you had on here and to go out there and then just see them all in one place. Like, you know, Growing Homes, I can't give enough thanks to those guys too, and their page, and what they do is very inspiring, what they have going on, just the way that they put that together, their mindset and working together as a team. And it's very inspiring to see them to crush it. And,
dude.
And I've gained so much knowledge from their page. They do a good job with
shout out to them. They do crush it, man. Yeah. They nail it. Talk about taking the right steps.
Yeah.
You guys are on it. And they were there totally. I think of it like as like Rivendell, you know. I don't know if I said that on the last podcast. You know what I mean? Like the Lord of the Rings gathering of the best and the best.
Yeah.
But like,
That's
dude,
so
I'm
funny.
humbled too. I stand on the shoulders of giants, bro. And that means I'm little, you know. They like Andy Firk, some of these other people who came, they really are the gurus, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just blessed to, you know, wow, stumble across this, right?
It's
crazy.
Yeah, I was having this thought on the way here. It's really wild, you know, like we have to give credit to the ones before us that traded this knowledge. But it's so wild because, you know, all glory to God, because where are they getting it from?
That's right.
It's all coming from within. And so it's all just being transcended down to us, and
Wow.
it's all God's gift, you know, the urban abundance. It's just the abundance in general. It's all there for us.
It's all God's gift.
That's a line in the song that's coming, you know, it's made for you and it's made for me, and it should be free. Like it's all around us abundantly. It should be way more abundant than it is.
Hey.
Sorry for Luna walking
I love
around
that. Oh,
here
it's all
balls
good.
right now.
That's a sweet doggy, Luna. Yeah. She jams too, you said.
Yeah, my doggy, she plays the guitar. Luna, she's got her own song. It's called Little Luna. It was my first release, Bernie Boehm music. But she's part of our band too, Brothers Within. She comes on all the big stages with us, and she's been to Reggae Rise Up with us. She played Sunfest with us. She came out, strummed the guitar, did her thing. And I like to say she's Southpaw. She comes out.
Yeah.
But she's smartest girl, man. She's a rescue. When I first got her, she was scared of everything. And she's come a long way. You can see now she's, you know, she thinks she owns a property, so she comes out here.
Nah, she's fine. We love her. Yeah. Dude, that's cool. So she'll come on stage and like play the guitar?
Yeah, so she's got like, I don't know what, you know.
I want to see it.
I don't know how she figured it out. So like, she's the smartest dog, but I taught her early on to play, and then we had a rehearsal one night. And when I first got her, you know, I didn't think the music, she was so scared of everything. I was like, well, she's not going to take to the music. And we had a rehearsal. I left the jam door, or the door to the jam room open, and she came in and fell asleep literally in front of the bass amp, right in front of it, and the kick drum. And I was like, okay, she's coming to the shows, you know? And so I started bringing her, and she already knew how to play the guitar. So she did it, and then the crowd responded. And then after a couple of shows, she started realizing the crowd was responding to her playing. So she would, you know, the crowd got really loud at a show, and she was like, oh. And she strummed it again, and then wagged her tail and looked at everybody. She's like, okay, that's for me. And, you know, she gets rewarded with treats too. So she's figured it out real quick. She's like, okay, this is my thing. I'm entertaining. And
she was wagging her tail on stage like, whoa.
Dude, there was a moment. It was at the Hard Rock in Daytona Beach where it happened. And it was the first time that she did this, but she came out to strum it, and she saw the whole crowd. So before she strummed it, she walked out to the front of the stage, looks back and forth at everybody, and then she comes back and strums the guitar. And then she looks at everyone and wags her tail. And then she strums it again and looks back, wags her tail. I'm like, how does she know she's doing that right now? Like, it's crazy.
She's smart, I could tell.
She figured it out.
That's insane.
I'm an entertainer.
Hey guys, just wanted to take a moment to talk about our sponsor, Urban Abundance. We help people grow food at home. And if that's something you're interested in doing, or maybe you don't know where to get started, or it's really overwhelming, but you want to grow food, give us a call today. We help you design, install, and maintain your garden. We do fruit trees, we help you with maintenance, and we just really want to make sure you're getting the result you want and you're growing food. So if that's something you're interested in, click the link below and get on your garden design phone call today. Let's get back to the video.
But yeah, I'm so intrigued about your vision with like having a musical gathering around growing. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think just trying to figure out the way to articulate the fest, like to make it happen without bringing too much business to it and making it overwhelming. You know what I mean? Because
right.
I think.
Wait, explain. What do you think the block is there? Because you said that the business stops it. What does that mean? I'm so interested.
You know, when there's abundance, people can't make money, just like the system. You know, and it's like. I love these festivals, you know, a lot of these bigger festivals and areas. It's what's going on is amazing. Like they bring out all these businesses and they support the businesses, and the businesses are able to you know, make their earnings and do what they want to do. But I feel like there should be a day where all these businesses can come together and we can do it as like an abundance thing where we're all giving, you know, and they're still taken care of, but people aren't having to pay so much to get food, you know what I mean? And
instead of exploiting it for profits,
Yeah.
More of like, hey,
let's use the abundance and
God,
start feeding people at these festivals instead of like making it like such an expensive thing to go enjoy music and food at the same time. Like, let's all get together, enjoy some music and food that's grown right here in the state of Florida for free. The music's, support the local artists that are here as well through it all. And I think that's kind of like how music festivals probably like came together to begin with.
You're right.
And that's kind of, I just feel like it's like we need to, this is one of our songs, Brothers of Them, but we need to wake up. We need to back up and just back up a little bit. There needs to be a balance where there's like a festival that is all about just free abundance and giving back, and it's not there for money, and I felt like that with the permaculture event so much, you know what I mean? Like, it was so organic and giving in a sense. Everyone was there giving stuff, whether they were selling it or not. There was people still giving, you know what I mean? And that's what I feel like's missing at the at the more corporate festivals, where it's all very cut and dry and business, it's all business.
Yeah. So create it. Let's create it. I know what you mean. And honestly, that's what got me into, and by the way, I guarantee a lot of people listening to this right now can relate to this. The reason I got into urban abundance is I wanted to live in a world where there was none of that money and profit, and that's all that matters. So I thought, hey, by the way, if we, you know what I mean? That was part of it, right? I wanted to live in a world. I had a vision of the future where if we had enough growing in our yards, we don't have to worry about paying bills and medical system and all this, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I totally relate. And by the way, we can bring that, and it's turned into, okay, it's a business and we have to be profitable and have EBITDA and all these things. It's crazy. My talk at that convergence was around business, it's so funny. Like, it's not what I got in this for. It's so funny, right? But I learned a lot of those things you have to learn to play the game, right?
Yeah, and you're doing it to do what you love.
Yeah, and I care a lot, right? My products, I really believe in them, right?
Yeah.
And it's right to create this, but like, I want to also exactly, like, there's room for events and workshops and like this convergence. That's why I wanted to be part of it,
Mm-hmm.
And musical events too, where we could do that, where we could come together and be like, give.
And maybe
Giving.
maybe it's still like we can promote our businesses there, like bring your business and bring your stuff, but it's a day where it's an abundance day. Like, maybe it's an abundance fest.
Abundance fest.
Let's
go.
I got chills right now.
Wow.
But maybe it's abundance fest where all these like musicians and growers in the community, we come together like on an annual event where everyone's like, okay, we can harvest all this stuff in the summer and we can bring all this to the event. We have way too much. It's going to go bad. Let's just bring it all and let's feed everyone at this musical event. Let's just enjoy some music.
Imagine that.
Enjoy free food, but still spread your business, promote your business there, but don't sell anything.
That's right. And dude, imagine how proud we would feel. How good we would feel at the end of that event.
This just takes me to a moment I have to talk about for a second. And this is like, shout out again to Lonnie and the Reed Farm for just like making such a special day. But gosh, the giving, dude, is so huge. And that's what
I love about it. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It is the best.
Sharing.
That is the best feeling, dude.
Well, why would we want any of this blessings without sharing it?
Yeah, and that's part of why I'm growing too. So Lonnie earlier this year invites me to come out and do an install with him, and I hadn't done an install yet or seen anything like that. So I was very stoked to tag on, and he, we did the install all day. We thought I was going to do a 2-day thing, and we knocked it out in one day, and then the whole day I'm like so stoked talking to this lady, and I'm like, I'm so stoked. My energy level is through the roof for this lady to get her food for us. I'm like, I've been learning on all this stuff and telling her about all these plants, and and she was, dishing information back to me. And then the end of the day, it just felt so giving to give that to her. Wow. And then so me and Lonnie, we go fishing that evening, and we're fishing on the boat, and I throw a bait out behind the boat that was a dead bait. So I just threw it off my hook, and I see this dolphin come up and like eat it. The dolphin been hanging out right behind the boat all night. And so me and Lonnie look at each other. We're like, dolphin just eat that bait. And then we're like, we're gonna try to feed this thing. So bend down and literally hold a bait in the water, and this dolphin comes up and eats it right out of my hand. I'm like, this is not happening right now. And we were just blown away, dude. Wow. So we're sitting there for an hour feeding this dolphin off the back. We fed it probably all our good baits that we shouldn't have fed it. But we're feeding this dolphin all our baits. And then so right after that, it was just so magical, so wild. But we both caught perfect 32-inch slot snook back to back moments after we feed this dolphin. It was just almost like the dolphin like made it happen. It was just so weird, but it was the most full circle giving day, like the most karmatic energy of giving I've ever felt. Like it was like we gave this food for us, and then it was just full circle right back to we're fishing. We get given this moment of this interaction with this mystical creature, and then all of a sudden we both catch the most perfect slot snook. You couldn't have gone a millimeter over on the on the inch. Like it was just perfect. And yeah, we went home with dinner and just an amazing day. So
dude, what a story.
It seems like the more you give, always the more you get.
Exactly. And bro, it's that feeling you're talking about, like when you're feeding that dolphin or getting this, like it's wow, this is all happening for me. Like it's crazy. Whatever,
Yeah, well said.
It's got that feeling. That's God, right?
It's kind of how I feel with every episode of this podcast. Like it's happening for me. I'm listening to this right now for the exact reason. Like everything I manifested yesterday is like coming out on this podcast today. Like
wow. And me too, by the way. It's wild, bro. This journey we're on.
Yeah.
Wild.
We're blessed.
Super blessed. So dude, thank you, man, for coming. Dude, sharing just that. Like this, what we've talked about today is so cool, man.
Yeah.
And
I just want to give thanks to everyone that's doing it right now, doing what you're doing anything to plant food, grow food, share to your community. And
we see you.
Yeah, we see you.
Facts.
And we feel you more than anything. It's felt right now, the change going on. You can feel it.
And dude, totally. And by the way, this kind of stuff takes time. I think of it right now, Bernie. It's like it's an epic, right? Like it's fun. I think about it, so cool. Like when the computer first came out, there wasn't a lot of people in on it, like hyped about it, enthusiastic. They didn't even know what was going on. It's like this is an ancient technology, but it's a new one. But look what the computers turn into today. That's what I'm trying to say. We're those whatever percentage of people, who knows what it is, who are really tuned into this and like wanting to really embrace creation. So. It is.
Yeah.
It's just like that. It's exponential. But we're at the early phase where it's like, dude, remember what it was like when we were like, driving 4 hours to like get certain plants.
Yeah.
Like now we all have them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool.
Everyone has access to them.
Yeah.
Just like computers.
Well said. Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
But it takes time. My point is it takes time. So if we want to have this music festival, Bernie, which I definitely plan to have, I want to play there.
Yes.
Bring plants and just bring a trailer of plants and just bring them. I would love that. But
give plants away too. Like that should be.
Yeah, I love it. We give. Dude, so in order to get that, we have to plant. We start now, right? Like we got to have fruit. These trees take 10 years to really be popping. So that message I want to be heard too. Like we have to put in the deeds now to get that result.
Yeah. Yeah. Start finding your neighbors that don't got any stuff growing and talk them into it.
Exactly.
And that was a huge change for me too in my journey was, there was I think it was like a decade ago, I saw this community garden in Daytona Beach, which is like the last place you would expect to see a community garden, to be honest, Daytona Beach. And, it wasn't well kept or anything, but just the idea behind it, I was like, man, that's why is there not one of those on like every little community block? Like there should be so many of those. And then I'm just like, well, wait a second. Why isn't like every yard one of those? Like it's literally just someone's yard. Right. And it was the community garden. I'm like, why isn't everyone's yard a community garden? Right. And then that's when it hit me
focus, man.
Yeah. The light was there. I didn't have the means at the time though to do that. And I didn't have the idea either that so much was available to grow here and
by the way,
knowledge.
Right. You didn't have all the exposure to it yet.
Yeah.
But also the means, you're right. Most people don't have the means. It's special.
Yeah.
We're just growing up in this world with bills and all this Publix and whatever else.
Yeah.
But like we can have it.
It's all around us.
It's all around us. But it's a focus thing too, don't you think? It's like values. Like people are focused on other stuff.
Uh-huh. So you got to put that aside for a little bit. Yeah.
We do. We have to pause.
It's hard to get
so right.
and go ground yourself, literally. Like you got to get your feet in the ground ground yourself and get connected. And then it starts kind of feeding into you. And I would say, I think one of your podcasts, I can't remember who it was, but they said, you're like, when did it really happen for you? And he was like, after mushrooms. I was like, to the point, like right to the point. Yeah. And I can't disagree with that, to be honest. Like, man, it was not right long after, taking a couple trips that you start to kind of unveil some things, and you're like, man, there's a lot more going on than it's just right in my mind right now. And totally. Not only that, but it just really makes you look at things differently, and then come back to reality and have a different perspective. So
big time.
Not that I recommend doing it to anybody.
Yes.
But maybe, microdosing isn't a terrible thing to try.
Yeah, man. I know what you mean. The mushroom energy is definitely, you start to see it, right? The trees and all the connection to it all. And the stars, it's crazy. It's like it's super unveiling. But what's interesting, I didn't do mushrooms till later on, after I got really touched by all this stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I think it definitely amplified it.
Really? Yeah, it does. That's what it does. I feel like
in so many areas of my life. Yeah. But dude, interesting. Dude, the energy is definitely, every plant medicine has a different energy, but the one for the mushroom is super human, grounding, heart-centered.
Yeah. And then starting to like learn about the mycelium and stuff more too, and just realizing that the network going on underground, not only through the roots but through mycelium, it really starts to expand your mind about like how connected we really are through the fungus and like
Talk
the bacteria.
about that, bro. Right? It's a consciousness down there, dude.
And I mean, I think they really got a lot of it right with Avatar. I think the roles are reversed. Whoever put the money out for business and stuff, they reversed. In my opinion, it just seems like
you're saying for Avatar.
For Avatar, like there's like
same
they
thing.
have that portrayal in the movie where everything's connected through the roots underground and the trees.
And then this big militaristic complex comes in and wipes them out.
And they make it seem like it's the humans. But in my reality here on Earth I feel like it's the other way. They're probably listening and looking down. But, it's like, dude, they got us thinking that it's us ruining this Earth. But it's them here to whatever they're trying to get. They have us mind blocked and doing things for business to bring all that energy to whatever that energy is. When everything, the abundance and God is all around us, trying to pull us to those things the other way. And that's kind of in deep core of what we're talking about, I feel like. But that's kind of like the vision I get.
Dude, I love that, man. Wow. So it's like Avatar, but we're not that evil comet. We're supposed to be the actual creatures.
We are the creatures.
We totally are. I mean, dude, don't you feel it in a yoga session or a music concert?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
How cool is that, Bernie? Wow.
This has been good. Yeah. This has been good.
So yeah, we do. I mean, what is that then? So the question for me is, what is that military industrial complex coming to get them and their dragons?
Like in that movie in particular, it's like they're mining stuff, right? Like they're trying to get the resources from the land.
Exploitation.
That avatars aren't even using, right? But what it is they're mining their energy, though. I'm pretty sure. Like, isn't it at the end of the movie? It's like they're what are they doing?
I don't know.
They're mining something. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're mining. I think you're at their planet.
And that's what it is. It's under their tree is like the energy or what they need. They're trying to mine from, and that's where all the energy is, and that's what we're talking about. That whole connection. That's the energy, and they're trying to mine the energy.
Dude, literally. Wow. And the tree of life, man. Wow. Dude, yeah, we have to. I think this is a forever game, though. It's just like right?
Yeah. Back to the compost. Back to the compost pile.
Exactly.
It keeps going.
Dude, it's important to keep that true, though, because I don't know. Like, what I mean by that is there have been kingdoms forever coming and pillaging land for resources.
Right.
So we gotta become permaculturists, bro, and then we don't have to go do that.
Yeah, cut the inflation off the top. First of all,
yeah, bro.
Cut that inflation and no more buying food and no more buying poison.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude, it's tied in, isn't it?
Very much so. I think.
Wow. So good, man.
All relative.
So what's the next steps for Bernie? What's next? I gotta have you back on too, man.
Dude, oh man, we got a jam too.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm trying to. Today I just had my first harvest. I harvested my first thing from the garden. It was a 22-pound watermelon. So I planted watermelon as a cover crop, like not intending to get anything. And next thing you know, there's a massive watermelon. So yeah,
let's go. You're bringing it to the show. You said you had a
Yes.
lot. You harvest from your garden.
Yep.
Let's
So
go.
with that, is basically my first harvest. I'm kind of starting my page, and it's Surfside Garden. So I live on Surfside in Daytona, name of my street. So yeah, it's gonna be called Surfside Garden, the name of my food forest, and I'm just gonna build out my food forest, and with that, try to connect every neighbor and person in my community kind of to the same thing, and trying to get people to grow and barter and trade and get back to the roots of things, and still have this stuff going on around us, but try to cut the like I said, cut the inflation off the top and worry less about trying to make those bills, and start sharing with people so we can do that together as a community, cut it out. So
Wow, what a beautiful vision, man. Yeah, you have trees in there. You said bananas and
yeah. Oh yeah, back to that. Yeah, I planted
bro.
I got a couple mangoes. I think I got a dwarf wine, and I got a carry, and I forget the other one I got. I got a couple mangoes.
You're 9B. You could do that,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah, there's mangoes all around me.
That's
for sure.
awesome.
I got a sapodilla. I'm really fascinated with the sugar cane right now. I get a few varieties of sugar cane I just put in, and shout out to Growing Homes guys again. I got some from them, and
Nice.
yeah, just
Quick growers.
nonstop, dude. I'm putting everything I can in the ground. And ginger and turmeric and potatoes and you name it, the yucca, and if we can eat it, I want it in the ground. Where I'm lacking though is like the herbs. Like I need the medicinal herbs, and like,
let me get you some when you
that's
do.
what I was gonna ask you,
you.
because you got it popping out there.
I
for
got
sure.
you.
So and you're doing plant sales now, right?
I'm at Stewart tomorrow too at the nursery. We should.
Really?
I'll get yeah.
Sick. Cool, man.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yes, but stoked to see the plant sales are going for you too. That's
Thanks, bro. It's been
Yeah.
fun. Because it is kind of that access for people who just want to spend $40 on their whole garden plants. $80.
Mm-hmm.
Just the tree, and they'll plant it themselves. So I do like it too.
Yeah. But yeah,
Offload.
that's where I lack is my herbs right now. Other than that, I just got chickens and learning that whole phase. And next is I want to try to get some bees out there, and the worm farm is where like I really need to dig into. So like I was talking about the compost, mine gets so hot that it's not a worm sanctuary.
Yeah. That's thermophilic composting. You're talking about like true worm castings need to be cooler.
So I want a separate little worm farm.
Very cool.
Start digging in that too.
Yeah, man, you got all those components going.
Yeah, one by one, just keep adding things, and it's crazy that just the compost alone right now, I'm making so much. I'm like, I got to start selling this stuff. And where I'm at, I'm on beachside, so there's Ace Hardware is like the only place where you can buy like a bag of soil or any kind of soil on beachside. So I want to be that beachside plug for compost. Anyone that doesn't need to go over the bridge or whatever, and the soil in those bags is so bad. It's all dead, it's dead. There's no life in there. So getting what's left. And I want to offer people some really good, organic soil. So compost.
Brother. So good. Yeah. And you had some other good ideas, I think, down by the beach. So just like once you have abundance, man, like I think about it, once I have these mangoes are popping off in 2 or 3 years, like, man, I want to be able to like have Mango Fest here. Like, I want there to be 5,000 mangoes during mango season. No little, none of this little like baby harvest. We want 5,000, 50,000 mangoes.
Yeah. Dude, I could eat mangoes all day. And this was my first year having a true mango. And for anyone who doesn't know, like there's so many varieties of mangoes. Like, what are we doing? Like, how did I not know this until now? And like, again, shout out to Lonnie. Went out to Lonnie's farm. It was the closest one to me. I was seeing all these mangoes, and I go out there and they fill me in. There's only 2 breeds of mangoes sold on the shelves, all the stores, for shelf life and for package life. And that's when it hit me. It's like, man, everything in the grocery store is like that. Wow. Like everything's sold for business. So the nutrients is slowly declining every single day, every single week. The nutrients yearly, is declining. Those fruits, and it's all grown unsustainably. If it's organic, it's sprayed with wax. If it's not organic, sprayed with glyphosate. Like, it's all so bad in the store. I walk in there now and I'm like, I can't even look at anything, dude. I have to go to the farmer's market. And then that's where it got worse. I'm like, I go to the farmer's markets near me, and it's the same stuff that's coming off the same trucks. And I'm just like, what? This is supposed to be a farmer's market for that reason. You go and get away from that, right? And you find the local farmers that are growing, and there's none of that.
Nope, same breed.
So I'm sure down here there's probably some great markets, and there are good farmers markets out there that you need to go find them and support your local farmers.
But that wasn't your experience.
And it wasn't.
I'll see it too. It's
but,
like, damn.
But I did just go back. I supported one of my local artists. Shout out Alex. I went to the farmer's market in Ponce Inlet this last weekend and bought a piece of art. Or I'm sorry, he gave me a piece of art. And the lady there, her name's Nicole. She was actually, I was kind of getting some insight on the market, and she was telling me that she got rid of the people who weren't doing organic, that were claiming organic and this and that. And I was kind of giving her an idea of what I was maybe interested in bringing to the table down there. And she was all about it. And I'm just stoked that there's someone stepping in there, and she's doing her thing. I guess where they were at before, they could only do certain vendors, but they moved locations, and now she's able to kind of do whatever she wants with it. So she was organizing it for the better, in my opinion. And shout out to her for doing that, because it's something that we need in our area. In my area, I just feel like that's what's lacking. It's the farmers markets are not true to organic, and sustainable farming.
It's a shame when that's like that. It's like, let's hold a better standard for,
Yeah. And that ties back to just like, some people are there to make money, and some people are there for, for the real reason and the message and getting the abundance out there and the real food,
Totally.
Some people are just there to
see that,
to resell it. And
totally.
Yeah.
Bro, that was such a good point you made though. Like, there's just 2 types of mangoes varieties, but that's every other thing happening all the time.
The bananas too.
Bro,
all of it. Yeah.
All of it.
All of it.
And we used to get so much variety, and like something from there and something from there. It's such a trip. It's a good point.
And you can taste it now too. It's like once you eat some of this food from like the Reed Farm or from out here, even just the star fruit we just had. Thank you so much for that. It was so good. But when you taste some real food, and then you go back and try to eat some of that, you're like, you can literally taste like it almost is nutrient deficient. Like there's way less nutrients than I remember as like a kid, like eating this stuff. It was so flavorful, some of these foods. And shout out to this lady, Robin O'Brien. She did a TEDx talk that like really started turning my mind after eating mushrooms. But if you get a chance, check out that TED talk. Robin O'Brien is her name.
Okay.
And this is 13 years ago. I think the video is that old. And I saw the video that long ago, but she was then talking about the past few decades, how they've started changing and changing the milk and changing things in the food. And so it's a very informative video. I would recommend anyone go check out and listen to for 15 minutes, and it'll kind of knock your perspective straight for sure on what's going on behind all those, all those markets and stores and the food in there. But yeah, it's
so good, man.
Yeah, it's nice it's really a blessing to know you and know people growing real food. I will say that. And that's what we need.
Likewise, man. Yeah, we're blessed. Yeah. That's the theme, y'all.
Yeah.
Bernie, bro, so good. Is there anything else you want to share with the world before we leave?
Through the music.
The music.
Yeah. I got this coin. I found this coin. I feel like all the messages I've been getting have been, straight from the creator the past few months. And it really hit me in a literal sense. I found this coin when I started rebuilding the house that was previously my father's that caught on fire. So that was kind of what sparked me getting this food force going and everything. But I found this coin. It said, God gives you the seeds. You got to plant the seeds.
You got to plant them.
You got to plant them. So I just pass that message to everyone.
That's great.
The seeds are all around us.
God gives you the seeds.
You just got to plant them. So the choice is yours. Just start doing the work, and
the choice is yours.
Yeah. Shout out Stick.
That's good. Yeah. You play that one probably.
Yeah. No, I don't think we cover that one. No.
You play Brothers Within.
We play some Brothers Within.
Check
we
them out.
love covering some Stick though, man. Big inspiration.
Stick.
Shout out to them. Yeah,
they're great. Yeah, and that was Slightly too. They're my big inspiration.
Oh yeah, they just had their big fest down in Mexico. So
oh yeah.
Hopefully we'll be on there someday. That was cool.
That'd be lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Well, dude, that was great. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Marcos, for all the work, man.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Shout out to everyone. Check out our band Brothers Within if you get a chance, and check out our music. Parallel Thoughts is our album. It's one of those parallel thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah, bud. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Hey guys, another awesome video. Thank you for watching and all your support. Hey, do me a favor. Click the like and subscribe button down below if you haven't already. It goes a long way. We'll see you in the next one.